So, Andreas, I love asking people who have been influential in their life because I know I've had many influencers in my life, and sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's a whole lifetime. A story I usually tell is when I was about 5 or 6, my grandfather, who was from Kyiv, my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom, my aunt were from Kyiv. He had an accent. He used to take me for walks in the park in Montreal, where I grew up. And one day I asked him, I said, Zeta, is what I call him, how do you know all these people? And he looked at me and said, well, one day I smiled at one person, and then I saw he smiled back at me. And then he started talking to me. So I talked to him, and we're talking. Then another guy came by and saw smiling, and he smiled at us. And we talked to him too. And he just went on and on. He said, that's what happened. And it really hit home for me to the point that I remember it now as it doesn't take much to influence somebody, and maybe just a smile. So with that said, can you share with us maybe 2 or 3 people that have been influencers in your life?
So influencers for me in my life, I would say, have been my grandfather as well, and my 2 children. So when I was little, and growing up in Germany, I learned a lot from my grandfather, from little things like gardening, to repairing things around the house and in the house. But I think many of the traits or cliches, in a sense, about Germans and German culture, I think I picked up there, and I'm actually very proud of that. Things like process and order, and things had their place, right? In his workshop, everything had its place. When you need it, you know where you go and where you find it. When you're done working with it, you put it back, and you clean it before you put it back, because the next time you pick up a clean tool, and you know where to find it. So those are some things that have really stuck with me. And now
Your
with
grandmother must have loved him.
oh yeah. Especially when he was in the garden. Um, so no, all good. But now with 2 little kids, right? This everything in order and process is completely out of the window, which can be a struggle at times. But coming to that side of influence, I think kids, not only mine teaching me, but yeah, yours, I'm sure, teaching and having taught you, give us an opportunity to see the world through completely different eyes. And just on one hand, seeing their development over a couple of days and weeks and months is like nothing else. So I remember going on a walk with our son when he was about 2, and we're walking through the neighborhood, and he wanted to stop on the side of the road and look at a leaf and a worm and something, like, well, we got to get home, right? We need to prep dinner and everything. Like, well, but hang on, let's slow down, right? He's experiencing something for the first time. He's excited about this, so I should give myself time and him as well to experience this and see the world through children's eyes again. And I think we lose a lot of that, obviously, as we get older, and this life gets busier, and there are responsibilities and deliverables and everything that's on our minds and on our calendar. But taking a step back and being able to do that is really important.
Yeah, that's
One example.
sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, that's brilliant.
So one
And
example.
because I mean, they really do teach us that way. I remember going on a hike with my kids when they were younger, and they stopped for everything. They stopped for that cherry that was on the branch. They stopped for the worm, the butterfly that was whatever, the butterfly that was maybe hurt, and pick it up. And you're kind of thinking, first of all, we got to go, and then you're thinking, no, we actually don't have to go. This is the best part. So that's really sweet.
So let me give another example. We got about 4 inches of snow 2 nights ago, 10 centimeters for the ones varying the metric system. And I know as a family, we've been so looking forward to it, because for our youngest, it was the first snow. For our older one, it was the first snow in 2 years. We didn't get any last year, so he was super excited. So and they were asking in the morning after the snow had fallen, Daddy, when can we go outside? Can we build a snowman? Can we have a snowball fight? And I said, well, let me take a look at my calendar. Obviously, there are some responsibilities, but I saw a good chunk of time that anyway I could either cancel or block out. So I did that, and we went outside around lunchtime, and we just had an awesome time. So I think also making sure that you give yourself permission, that you have time also during the day, no matter how busy your day is, to stop for these little things, I think is super, super important. Because after all, it's about your family and caring for them as well.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. When you say it goes by fast, I have a 95 and 3/4-year-old aunt who's like a second mom in Montreal. And she asked me several months ago, she said, Mark, where do 95 years go? Pretty profound, as simple as it is, pretty profound. And what you just said there is we understand where it goes logically, but where does it go?
Yeah,
Goes fast. So, checking out those leaves and worms are really important, and the snow too. So good for you. Thanks for sharing all that. Really appreciate it.
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Super cool.
Good. Awesome.
Enjoy those kids, because mine are 20s. I got two in their 20s, one early 30s, and
Yeah.
it's like, holy cow, what happened?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for the time being, I know where they're sleeping and who's sleeping next to them.
yeah, well, that's good. Enjoy that part while you still know that part. Hey,
Yeah.
real pleasure meeting you, and hopefully we'll have a lot more interaction with some of the stuff we're doing with Prophets of AI and everything, and whatever I can do to help you in any way, just to, let me know. We do a lot of different things, so but I'm sure we'll be talking, and you'll get an email sometime in the next couple of weeks or whatnot, with the links to the video, and then we're going to
Yep.
start sharing it, and you can do how you wish to share it too, and
Yep.
and we'll keep in touch.
Awesome. That's great. If there's a way that you can share the recording, the full recording, that'd be awesome. If there are
Yeah, we don't edit.
okay, cool. If there are shorter snippets or something, happy to post them, or I can create a couple as well. Whatever helps you too, and get more traffic to your page and your podcast. But thanks for the opportunity. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Super,
fun.
super.
It was fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, you are a leader who cares. I'm not kidding. I like the fact that how you talked about some of that stuff. It's really important, especially these days. People need to care about each other a lot more.
It,
So
it gets harder the higher you get, and the rougher the tone gets, and the more ambitious people and the objectives get. But I think
it,
you
it does
definitely.
it does get harder, but it's also more important. And with everything
Yeah.
going on in the world right now, we have a nonprofit that has this program called Nonflict.
Hmm.
And it's a great program that done a few 100,000 people around the world already. And there's a big global partnership that we put together with them and another group that's out of England that specializes in genocides. And Rwanda, it's 30th anniversary of Rwanda genocide this year. And so in commemoration of the million that died in 100 days there, this organization is going to train a million young people on Nonflict to be peacemakers. And so it's a whole big movement that's going to go past this, but to the point about, yeah, it may get harder times to care, but there's way more good people than there are crappy
Oh
people.
yeah. Yes.
So we just
Yeah.
have to keep caring. So again, great job. My pleasure to meet you. Go give your wife and kids a hug and a couple of snowball fights, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mark. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, mine too. You take care.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.